So now I'm with Kunal Sinha, who's Global Head of Recycling with Glencore. Hi Kunal, nice to see you
Jo.
again.
Thanks for having me back.
So, from recycling to circularity, apparently that is a reality for Glencore now.
It is. I think we are one of the largest producers of these metals, critical metals that go into electronics or batteries. We have been recycling them for decades, so it just made sense to combine the two and think about full life cycle and a circular business model, so that we can support circularity goals of our customers.
And your ambition is extremely close, in fact.
Yes, I think it's ambitious, but we think we can achieve it. We want to be lifetime custodians of the metals we produce for the first time and help them get recycled over and over again. That's what we can do, but hopefully if we do that, it solves a lot of the challenges for both our customers as well as regions like Europe and North America.
Yeah, you talked about the difference in the collection rates in the US and in Europe. Is there anything that Glencore is doing to try to balance that a little better within the group?
Yeah, so I think we have a voice. We can use our voice. We talk to various governments and legislative bodies. We worked on, for example, we were part of the UK's battery strategy task force. I was on it. In the US, we are having conversations in DC with various parts of the government where we can inform them our views on the things. So when we have those discussions, we often point to Europe and we say, look, there's something that works there. Is that something we can look and adapt in some way, shape or form over here? So that's one of the ways we can try and do this. The other way, which is very interesting, I was in India some time back and we were talking about this, and the feedback from the Indian recyclers was, if a reputable company like Glencore was to be part of this business in India, that itself will lift the standards, because to be able to do business with Glencore, you have to pass a lot of checks and compliances and KYC.
Right.
And people want to do that because then they don't have to go through multiple channels and layers. But to do business with us, you have to upgrade your own business. So there's a few different ways in which we can have a positive effect, and we're trying to do that.
And many companies here have already mentioned the importance of partnerships in general for their own development. Is this how Glencore sees the future as well?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think when it comes to recycling or circularity, it has the value chain has many parts. Glencore obviously is not present in all those parts. Like we're not in upstream collection, dismantling. We do a little bit of shredding, but more for sampling. And we are also not very downstream. We produce commodities. We don't produce chemicals or actual products that go into phones and laptops. So for all this to work, partnership is very important. So increasingly in our circularity work, we are partnering with both upstream players and downstream players. And effectively, you can think of Glencore as, we curating a platform of like-minded partners. And if we can do that, then everybody plays their part, we can achieve circularity in different ways.
So is that one of the key priorities for the group for the next couple of years?
Yeah, definitely. I think there is, if you think about virgin raw material, as people call them, the world still needs a lot more copper, nickel, lithium, cobalt to be produced. So that's a big responsibility, and we will responsibly mine and produce these metals. But increasingly, recycling will play a bigger role. It's part of our climate transition action plan. It's part of our corporate goals. So we will approach it from both angles, both from the primary supply as well as how we can help the industry recycle more and more and close the loop.
I think it must be quite difficult for a big group who's present in so many markets to continue to grow constantly. To what extent are you confident about the future for Glencore in recycling?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we are very big. Sometimes if you're very big, you can get slow and it takes time to get stuff done. The good news is culture in Glencore is very entrepreneurial. There's a lot of agility and ideas, and all the way from our CEO to our board, there's a lot of support for recycling as a business to grow. In fact, management is on record saying recycling should grow exponentially. So we enjoy a lot of support from those internal stakeholders, and as long as we bring good quality projects for expanding our recycling capacity, or partnerships or investment ideas, they are pragmatically evaluated, and we are able to deploy capital, resources, people. So far we have been able to grow, and we hope we can keep the pace.
And you're once again a sponsor of the IERC.
Yes.
Why is it still important to meet people face to face at this meeting?
Yeah, I think these are not very easy problems to solve. Sometimes I think, I think COVID gave us virtual meetings, and they are good for a certain set of problems to solve. But when you need creativity, working together, collaboration, discovering new ideas, innovating, understanding what someone else's problem is and how it interfaces with yours, you just have to meet with a unstructured agenda. You have to listen to other people talk and understand what they're doing. It's very hard to do that in these settings. So I think coming to conferences like these, like hearing the European Commission on how they look at the V directive, hearing recyclers on, I was kind of intrigued that people are not happy with how far the V directive is going or not going, whereas I'm saying, oh, it's really good. I would like something like that to happen in other parts of the world. So it's just that contrasting viewpoints that you get, and then the side discussions, which are hard to prompt if you're not there in person, is I think very valuable. And IERC plays a good role. You have a very curated, focused group of people. I think the attendance is sort of up from last year. More OEMs. It was great to hear some of them today. So it's sort of good progress, and it's still very valuable to come here and meet people and exchange ideas.
That's good to hear, and I hope that you have lots of interesting exchanges until the end of the conference. Thank you very much, Kunal.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you.